March weather in Colorado is notoriously fickle. One day you might be out in shorts for a walk, the next zipping down the ski slopes with a fresh 3 inches of powder. The organizers and teams that came to Pagosa Springs the last weekend in March for the second annual Pagosa Triathlon event experienced some decidedly winter weather. You're watching the Local News Network, brought to you by the Payroll Department and Serious Texas Barbecue. I'm Connor Shreve.
Mother Nature wasn't on our side this year, and our balloon launch field was under 2 feet of snow. And, you know, one of the reasons that we chose to do it that last weekend in March, or the second to the last weekend in March, is because typically it is 45 or 50 degrees, but you do still have the snow on the mountains, but the river is running, and this year it was just colder later, snowier later.
Over the 3-day event, there were a series of events planned for both competitors and community members, starting with a balloon flight Friday morning, the first of 3 planned flights. The actual competition day was Saturday, and a final wrap-up event on Sunday.
So the competition day, which was Saturday, we had envisioned a hot air balloon competition. So we changed the hare and hound race to a static drop. So it was a predetermined target location, and people could go out into the community, determine what the winds were, and try and fly to the target. And Mother Nature didn't have that in stock either, and we canceled the competition day. The next event is skiing, and everybody who wanted to participate in that was able to. And on the mountain, we had 5 waypoints that the competitors had to find and 3 judges. And the judges just spent all day on the same run, skiing over and over. And the competitors' aim was to go find the judge and basically get a selfie with them and turn those pictures in. And then the raft competition was actually, in my opinion, going to be the funniest because we're paddle boats. And the objective for the raft competition was to have targets that we had little rubber duckies, and you were going to throw the rubber duckies at the target as you went through raft. So we chose to do 2 other things instead of the hot air balloon and the rafting. Stitches and Dimples is a new place in Pagosa. It's kind of an indoor arena with batting cages and golf and cornhole. And so what we did there was we put out the targets that we were going to use for hot air balloons, and people had to throw them. And then the duckies that everybody was going to use for rafting, we put out laundry baskets, and you tried to hit the laundry baskets. And so we came up with a 4th activity that you could opt in or out of one of the other 3 and opt into this. And that was a town scavenger hunt. And we selected 8 businesses throughout town, and then 4 extra credit points. And on Saturday morning, we gave everybody 1 clue. You had to go to the business and find our next clue, and that would lead you to the next business.
The triathlon events and weekend were made possible through generous donations from several local businesses and funding from the lodger's tax. Despite the weather, the participants still managed a couple of balloon flights and more than made up for canceled events with the substituted activities. Myers and the rest of her team do plan on continuing the triathlon next year with a few more plans in place for inclement weather. Learn more about this story and others at durangolocal.news. Thank you for watching this edition of the Local News Network. I'm Connor Shreve.